Hello again and welcome to my update on COVID-19. The things I want to talk about today are why an antibody-based test could be a game changer, and also how structuring your time can help with your study during the period the school shut down for. So on the antibody test, it has a number of advantages over the one that we're currently using. The current test is a PCR test, so it's using the virus's nucleic acid, its genetic information, to identify whether a person is infected at that time or not. What that means is it's very accurate, but the problems with it are it can only tell if someone's currently got the virus, not if they previously had it. It's also something that's fairly slow and it's fairly expensive. It has quite a long lead time. So that means it's not necessarily scalable to huge numbers of people very quickly. The advantages of an antibody test would be you can tell people who've recovered from it. Those people can then go back into circulation and there's no need for them to self-isolate, so that's a game changer for them. With the antibody test, it is also very much faster. So whereas it takes 2 or 3 days for a PCR test, you can do it in a matter of minutes to get a result. It's also quite cheap. That means it could be a game changer in testing large numbers of people, so you can identify who treatment should go to and who can come out of their self-isolation. The only thing to be careful of is it needs to be the right antibody test. The accuracy of a test is how many false positives it generates. So if a test is 99% accurate, that means 1% of the time it will identify someone as positive even when they haven't had the condition. That could be a problem because it's going to cause distress to that person. It could also cause an undue burden to the health system. So rather than rushing to have any antibody tests, they need to make sure it's the right one, which is very accurate, to avoid actually creating more problems than it solves. In terms of study skills, what I'd recommend to start with as you're new to working independently all week is go with the timetabled lessons you have on each day. So try to do 5 hours of work per day. Doesn't necessarily need to be at the same time as when you'd have had that lesson, but do the 5 subject lessons you'd have had in any day. So on Monday, start doing an hour each of the subjects you'd have had on Monday. Once you get into it a little bit more, you'll develop better study skills. You'll realise that you maybe don't need to be doing that quite so much. But as a first starting point, that's an excellent idea so that you can use your time productively. That stops you having the tendency to just drift and making sure that you don't spend more time on your favourite subjects and neglect the ones that are important but you don't necessarily enjoy quite so much. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the update. See you soon and keep safe.